following show is controversial and contains content you may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised.
98 FM's Dublin Talks. Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
Friday morning, good morning. How are you this morning? Everything good? I hope so. I hope everything is all right in your world. I'm Adrian Kennedy, and between now and midday today, this is 98 FM's Dublin Talks, the mid-morning talk and phone-in show for Dublin, by Dublin, and about Dublin. So what is coming up on today's programme? I'll tell you right now. A lot of you have sent this in to us over the last 24 hours, and I have to say, when I saw the video that was sent in to us, or the videos that were sent in to us, I was embarrassed. I was ashamed, actually. And what was I ashamed of? I was ashamed of Dublin. I was ashamed of the image that it portrays. This is a video that has emerged of a brawl on Westmoreland Street on Wednesday evening, where Deliveroo drivers were attacked by thugs. And honestly, it's embarrassing to watch it. We'll be finding out, has our city centre become a no-go area? And the videos that were sent to you may have seen these yourself on Facebook or different social media outlets. The video that I watched today runs in total, there's two different videos, but in total run to about 7 minutes. And it was filmed on Westmoreland Street within a 30-second walk from the nearest Garda station, Pearse Street. It's literally a 30-second walk. And for the whole time that these videos were being filmed, not a guard in sight. Anyway, I'm going to talk about that in just a while. We're going to find out where in your house do you think is most germ-ridden. You'd be disgusted. You'd be surprised, actually, that it's not what you think. It's Friday, so we've got our Say What You See quiz and our Good News Friday. And we also want to talk about Wine O'Clock. Is it creating a nation of secret alcoholics? We hear from one girl who's worried about her sister because she drinks a couple of glasses of wine every night at home. And she thinks she's developing a drink problem. We'll deal with that a little bit later on. All that and much more between now and midday today. If you want to get in contact with us, you can call 6797981, or you can text or WhatsApp us on 0877 98 98 98, and that's the same number if you want to send us a WhatsApp voice message. You can do that reacting to anything on the programme. You can send your voice message to 0877 98 98 98 via WhatsApp. Now, first off on the programme, I want to start with a good news story and a piece of music. And we don't often play music on this programme, but there is a story behind this song. Have a listen to a little bit of this.
I know you don't have time. Life's just one big climb. I've been tossed around and I fell down. I'm too frail to get back up, so I just frown.
Now, would you be surprised to learn that song is being sung by a 13-year-old? You probably would be. This is a song called You Won't Stop Me, sung by a young lady from Cavan called Ruby O'Kelly. And she has written it for a particular reason. She was moved so much by bullying that she saw going on around her that she wrote this powerful anti-bullying song after witnessing so much abuse firsthand. And her ma'am, Sharon, joins me on the line. Sharon, welcome to 98 FM.
Good morning, Adrian. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Sharon, and welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
I only became aware of this song earlier this morning, and
oh, thank you. It only went up last night.
I'm very, very moved by this song.
So am I. Even hearing it this morning on the radio, I always try to keep it together, but I'm very emotional to know that that's actually my child, and hopefully that she makes a difference to other kids.
So tell me a bit about Ruby and why she decided to write this song.
Well, basically, Ruby is 13 years old, and she wrote the song last February, so that meant that she was 12. And she wrote one particular night. It was over like a space of 2 nights. That's how quickly it took. Ruby's a very good writer, very good at English in school, very old soul kind of kid, very much in tune with stuff around her. And she came down to me one particular night and she said, I wrote a bit of a song, and being an Irish mammy and being a Downton Thomas, I think that a lot of Irish mammies are. I said, you wrote that song. Are you sure you didn't copy that? She goes, no, Mum, I didn't. I wrote that. So being sceptical, I said, well, if you wrote it, I said, write me another piece and come back to me. So down she came down and she wrote another piece. And I couldn't believe what I was after hearing, because I could hear her banging away on the piano upstairs because she takes piano lessons. So we rang her singing teacher and explained to her. She said, look, I'll bring her to me Tuesday now, let me have a listen. So she said, Sharon, she said, I can't believe what she's wrote here. So I said, Ruby, why did you write it? And she said, look, Ma'am, she said, because stuff is very personal to me, I'm not going to say it's about my own life because I'm very happy, she said, but I'm happy at the minute if happy is a big word or if happy is a small word. She said, I just see so much when you're in school and people say this stuff about, you know, when you're in primary, the buddy chair and you're sitting like this, and then when you're fighting with somebody and they ask you to shake hands, well, the minute that teacher walks away, that bully is onto you again. That's just all a front. It doesn't leave you. When you go home, Snapchat, there's all this stuff like tell them that you can anonymously call somebody out and call them names, and you're going into school and everybody is laughing, not being included to go even to the canteen, sitting on your own, people knowing you're on your own, clearly isolating you all the time, not being able to say, I'm not going to be with that gang, ask her to come over, but they're not, they just want to be with it's horrendous. And she said, like... So
this is something that hasn't necessarily happened to Ruby, but that she is witnessing...
Ruby
she has been bullied.
Yes, she has been bullied. But Ruby's own eldest brother, who is nearly 19, was severely badly bullied. And she had seen that, and very much a talk about it in her house. And like the pain that had caused him, the pain that she would hear me say on a daily basis to her father when he come in from work, and trying to talk to him all the time, trying to always be careful. The worry that when he goes to bed that night that things wouldn't happen, like the isolation, looking on at him, never being asked to go places. So she's very clued in. Okay, so her brother she was as well, but she also sees it all around her, sees people being isolated. Absolutely, and can't believe that it's still happening. I will say to her, Adrian, when she comes home from school every single day, I say, well, how'd you go on school? Say, grand. And I say, who did you sit with at lunch? Well, I said, I was on my own. See, they were gone when I came back from the locker. And what do you mean they were gone? Like, they were gone, like, and they didn't wait for me. But it doesn't, she's making excuses for people's behaviour at the start. It always like, they didn't mean it. Because one day she said, no, this is not right, Mammy. This is not right what they're doing. It's wrong. And like, looking at people on social media all going out places and never being included. And then group chats. You're joined into a group chat, then you're booted back out again. It's an isolating laugh. Yes, which is, I mean, it's a subject that's very close to my heart because I was badly bullied when I was in school as well. And that's exactly what I was about to say. It stays with you for life. There are certain triggers in my own life still today that really upset me because it makes me feel isolated and bullied. And it's very hard to explain sometimes. It is, because people don't understand it. Think that you're a grown adult and they're looking at you and they're saying, how could you be bullied? But they won't forget that you were once that child. Exactly. And you were afraid. So people sometimes don't have parents that they can go to. People have busy lives. But at the same time, they mightn't have the relationship with their parent to be able to go and say. And then when you do go to the schools, they say we're dealing with it. But they're taking these individuals into an office and they're speaking to them. Ruby's attitude is speaking to them is not good enough. They should be saying, listen, what you said to this child, keep calling the parents in until the parents eventually will have a pain in their backside coming in to the school that they'll eventually do. You know what I mean? It's just wrong. The song itself, the song itself is called "You Won't Stop Me." Yes. What's the message of the song? Well, if Ruby was to tell you the message of the song, okay, people might turn around and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that child is actually writing about that." Okay. Basically, Ruby is writing about bullying, loneliness, despair, everything that you feel when you're bullied. But when Ruby writes about the girl that she sees, when a child who's been bullied in this particular song goes to bed at night, she dreams of this amazing friend that she has in heaven. Amazing, amazing friend, okay? Mm-hmm. Life is amazing. But then she wakes up the next morning and she's back
to square one again.
Absolute crap again. But that's why people say, now God forgive me for saying this, and I hope I don't upset listeners, but I hope I strike a chord. How did that child commit suicide? What happened? Sometimes people take their dreams to reality because they've no choice and they just can't cope. She wants that stigma of kids to stop. I've sat her down and I've been very, very open with her. And I said to her, you know, Ruby, when I was growing up, I said in the early 90s in Dublin, what was killing our kids, well, I was a kid probably at the time, probably a teenager, I can't remember now. I said, was heroin and drugs. What's killing our children now, I said, is bullying. It's an epidemic. It needs to be wiped out. People need to... You see, what's happening is, say for talk's sake, Adrian, a child commits suicide, right? Everybody is up in arms. They're talking about it. Then people forget till somebody else happens. It shouldn't happen. At the end of the day, no mother should bury her child. When you lose your parent, you're an orphan. When you lose your husband or wife, you're a widow or widower. There is no name to lose a child because it's not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to happen.
It's not
Absolutely
supposed to happen, Adrian.
And like I said,
not for these circumstances. Illness happens every day of the week. It's a circle of life. But not for your child to be so persecuted that they think that their only way out is to end their precious life at the hands of these torments. Who know, and people say they're only kids, they don't know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing. And this is a kid who has wrote from the heart to say, this is how I feel, waking up in the same home, longing just to be part of something, to get the phone call. Do you want to go to the town? Do you want to go to the cinema? Looking at everybody else having a good time. And I know that there's listeners here this morning that have kids who are sitting on their chair day in, day out, and their hearts are broken for their babies, that they're not included and they're being bullied. They need to get behind Ruby and get this message out. Let her be a voice for other kids.
I have to say, Sharon, talking to you, and I said this a second ago, bullying is something that never leaves you in your life.
It never leaves you, Adrian.
I find even having this conversation very difficult because...
Absolutely, and I get
because it brings it all back,
yes.
And everything you're saying is exactly what I was as that teenager. And I can honestly tell you, my hands are shaking and there's tears in my eyes just listening to you talking about it.
And when you hear the words of what that kid is saying...
Yeah.
She didn't write this song, okay, for fame and fortune, to be a pop star. I know Ruby is a good singer, I know that. But she wrote because she wrote from the heart. She didn't think, well, she hoped that she would be a voice. She hoped that the powers that be in media, in television, whatever, would grab onto this, not to make Ruby famous, but for Ruby to get that message out. Enough is enough.
Sharon, let's have another listen to a bit of Ruby's song.
Sure,
it's called You Won't Stop Me.
Yes, sure, Adrian.
It's incredibly powerful, Sharon. It really is. And
she'd be delighted. She's just gone off today with. She's part of a stage school what is her family. That's all she's ever known. A fantastic bunch of kids, and she's been so guided by the powers that be who own this stage school, have nurtured her and encouraged her.
Which is fantastic, and I'm delighted for her that she has that. And I know for me as a young fella, when I got involved in radio at a young age, at 15 or 16, that was my saviour. And
this is her saviour.
That's fantastic.
Without Spotlight Stage School, she would not be who she is today. And they stepped in when they heard the song and they said, listen, this is going going to make a difference.
Okay, stay there for a second, Sharon, because I want to just take unbelievable interest in this, actually. Bob, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Bob?
Good morning to you, Adrian. How are you?
I'm okay, Bob. What did you want to say?
Hello, sir. I just want to say, I tell you, she's a fantastic child. I experienced bullying myself growing up as a child and still through friends of mine. I tell you, and it can be cruel and it can be very hurtful, and you carry it all through your life, you know. And
that's what I just said a couple of minutes ago, that I'm 51 now, and there are things that happen to me in my life that are a trigger to...
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Adrian, listen, this morning there, I had a look at it, and I think that should be the song for the Eurovision this year, representing Ireland.
Wow, there you go, Sharon. It should be a Eurovision entry this year.
Imagine, like, seriously, like this, like when Don, obviously they've changed now the age limit, but like Ruby said to me, there's never an age limit. The age is only a number, ma'am. If you've got a message to send to somebody, you just go out there and you do your best to be a voice for other kids, to be a voice for kids. And I hate saying this because I don't upset any parent here this morning who never made it. Like, it's wrong. It needs to stop. And Ruby said to me last night, like, I was sitting on my chair and I was looking across. I was like, oh my God, Ruby, it's going here, there and everywhere. And God love her, she's sitting with the bowl of cereal on with the PJs going, oh, that's great. I hope people like it. Great, keep going. Like, my sister's up till 2 o'clock in the morning. She said, no, I'm not doing any more of this. I have to go to bed. I'm finished on the night shift. I said, we just need to get this message out.
That's a very nice thought, Bob, about a Eurovision entry, and maybe something that should be considered. But stay there for a second, because Alison, your 14-year-old son died by suicide 2 years ago. Alison? Oh, sorry, lads. Alison is not there. If we can get her back. Are you there, Alison? No, we'll try and get her back. Because this is the point that you're making, Sharon. We're about to talk to that lady. Her 14-year-old died by suicide a couple of years ago. And this is what you were saying, that it's not meant to be like this.
No, and look at that child in Clondalk, and they're trying to bring in Coco's Law.
Yes.
And when Ruby heard that, like, that is my son's nickname when he was a baby, because his cousin couldn't pronounce his name. And when I heard the word Coco, I was like, oh my God. And I've set Ruby down. I don't say to her, oh, let's not talk about it. I say to her, do you see what happened to that child? That child was persecuted. Look at that poor baby. And she's like, Mommy, this is wrong. This is wrong. Like, they're coming into school and they're taking them into the office and having a little chat with them.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. It just and I've often said this to people. I'd love to be able to, you know, the expression, put an old head on young shoulders.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'd love to be able to go back and talk to the guys that bullied me when I was a kid, to tell them the effect that it was going to have on my entire life.
The rest of your life.
Yes,
and it's not only happening in school, it's actually happening now.
Yes, it's even worse now.
Workforce.
Yeah, no, it's even worse now.
Bullying is worse because they've grown bigger.
Okay, stay there for a second.
Yes, sure.
Julie.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
Not too bad.
Your 14-year-old almost died by suicide.
He did, yeah.
And you're really touched by this song.
Oh my God, I just want to say to Sharon that Ruby is absolutely amazing, and she should be so proud of her daughter for highlighting the epidemic in this country. Because it's an epidemic.
It is an epidemic.
All our young people are suffering, and somebody needs to do something quick.
Tell me about your son and what happened.
Like Ruby, what she was talking about, being isolated, never being asked out to play. You know, they'd be going to the cinema and they'd be laughing at him. They wouldn't invite him. And it was just years of built up stress and emotion that he tried to take his own life.
Wow.
And he's still recovering to this day. And I just want to say to all the parents out there, just talk to your kids and keep talking. Don't stop talking to them. You know, and I just Sharon.
And what age? What age is he now?
He's 17 now.
And how is he?
He's doing okay. He has his good days and his bad days. Just trying to support him as best I can, and you know, hopefully he'll come out the other end of it.
He will come out the other end of it. But the one thing I said a couple of minutes ago is that it does stay with you for your entire life.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All I hope for him is that he has some outlet in his life, like Sharon's daughter Ruby has. And I've said this many times. When I was a kid, I got involved with a small little radio station in Bray, and that was my saviour. That was it really was. And I was able to walk out of school and leave the shit from school behind me and go out to the radio station and do what I do.
And look at you now.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I find the conversation just terribly upsetting sometimes. And
yeah, it is. Yeah, I had to pull the car over when I heard Ruby's voice. I was just like, oh my gosh, she's just amazing.
Well, Sharon, Judy, thank you very much for talking to me. And Sharon, you should be very, very proud of your daughter.
I really, really am. I just hope that people, when they see it, that they share it. They don't just click like on it. And
well, that's what I was about to say. We have just posted the video on our own Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. And if you could share it widely, please, we need to get this message out.
We need to get the message. Adrian, thank you so much for calling. I'm sorry that Ruby's not actually here this morning.
It's a pity, but
just the first day that she was asked to go out somewhere, so she went this morning, and she actually went with her daddy at 9:15 to be dropped off to her friend in Navan. So I just said, look, she's been asked. Rather than sit here and talking to herself all day again, I said I'd let her go.
No, right, very good.
Any other time, if you ever want to speak to her at all, if I knew, I'd keep her off school for an hour and let her speak to you by all means.
We'll have a quick chat with her on Monday morning before she goes to school, and I'll pre-record the interview. How about that?
That'd be fantastic. Yeah. You just contact me, absolutely no problem at all. And I just hope that the message gets out there, and I just hope I haven't infringed anybody's day or upset them if they've lost a child. Just remember that Ruby will try her best to be a voice for their kids.
Okay, the video is on our Facebook page right now at facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. It's a link to the YouTube video. Share it widely, and let's get the message out. Sharon, lovely to talk to you, and thanks very much indeed.
You too. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye
all right,
now.
bye-bye. Isn't that a lovely lady? The song is called You Won't Stop Me. A 12-year-old at the time saw so much bullying going on around her that she wrote this really, really powerful song called You Won't Stop Me. We'll have a listen to one little bit of it and go onto our Facebook page and share it widely, please.
The girl that I can see, she's waiting there for me. You never stopped me. You did not stop me. Up to the heavens, I'll meet her someday. Maybe not once, but in many different ways. She'll hold me and she'll kiss me.
Facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D is where you will find that video if you want to share it. We're back in just a moment. Don't go away.
98 FM's Dublin Talks with Des Kelly Interiors. New store now open at Belgard Road, Tala.
98 FM.
And this is Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. Once again, that video, and I can see already lots of you are sharing it on our Facebook, from our Facebook page. That video by Ruby is on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. And unbelievable reaction, I have to say, to it. And it's gotten hundreds of shares already. All right, so facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D if you want to share Ruby's video. Now, next on the programme, has Dublin city centre become a no-go area for law-abiding citizens due to the increase in violence on our streets? Would you feel safe walking down Westmoreland Street onto O'Connell Street at night, for example? Do you think we have enough Gardaí on the streets of the capital to deal with antisocial behaviour? I have a reason for asking all of this, and it is because frightening scenes were caught on camera this week, showing a group of, they look like teenagers, throwing bikes, stamping on bikes at Deliveroo drivers on Westmoreland Street. The thugs brought the city centre traffic on Westmoreland Street to a standstill for over 7 minutes as they threw bikes, squared up to delivery drivers, took off T-shirts and go on, bring it on, bring it on. In fact, this is just a little extract from the mayhem on Westmoreland Street on Sunday evening. Wednesday evening. So that noise that you're hearing is bikes on the ground being stamped on beside a double-decker bus on Westmoreland Street on Wednesday evening. Anyway, I could play this. This actually goes on for 7 minutes. And it was just, like I said, that fella took his T-shirt off. Come on, you and me, one-on-one. Anyway, Deliveroo have commented on the incident saying, we are aware of this incident and we are investigating. Riders work hard to bring customers amazing meals and should be able to do so without being subject to harassment or threats of violence. The Gardaí said they attended an incident of public order that occurred in Westmoreland Street on the 20th at approximately 9:15 p.m. A man in his 40s was arrested and taken to Pearse Street Garda Station. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've seen that video, I didn't see any 40-year-old causing any hassle. But anyhow, but there's a bigger issue here. This brawl took place on one of the busiest streets in the city centre for nearly 7 minutes before the Gardaí arrived. Now, if you're familiar with the city centre, you will know that the bus stops at Westmoreland Street are a spit away from Pearse Street Garda Station. I mean a spit. You can walk to Pearse Street Garda Station from where this incident happened in just 30 seconds. And still, this incident went on for at least 7 minutes before the Gardaí turned up. Yet the Garda Station is just there. 6797981 is our telephone number. I'd love to hear from you on this. Let me bring in a local councillor that covers this whole area, and that is Sinn Féin councillor Chris Andrews. Chris, welcome to 98 FM.
Hiya, thanks very much.
Chris, you've seen this video. You've seen the bloody mayhem on Westmoreland Street on Wednesday evening. What bothers me most about this, and I hate criticising the guards, but on this one I have to, they're a stone's throw away, and for 7 minutes this whole thing went on and not a guard in sight.
Well, I suppose this sort of incident isn't a one-off around the city.
Of course not, no.
No, I know down in Ringsend and Pearse Street areas there have been, they've experienced a lot of young gangs on bikes from ages 10 to 15 going around they caused evacuation of apartment block last week or 2 weeks ago. They looting shops, damaging cars, robbing bikes. The difficulty is that the frontline Gardaí are under real pressure. There isn't enough of them. I think the general consensus is that there isn't enough visibility of guards on the bikes, on the just walking around, even driving around, although it's not as effective. But I know the community...
when you say there isn't enough visibility, that's an understatement, Chris. Like I said, Westmoreland Street, O'Connell Street is right smack bang in the middle of the city centre, where there are loads of people at every minute of the day, and for the whole duration of those videos, there is not a guard in sight, which is just bizarre.
I suppose it's a symptom of the under-resourcing of community Gardaí. I know that I know it's a different area, and I know Pearse Street probably experienced the same thing, but in Kevin Street Garda Station, the number of community guards 10 years ago was over 20, 25, 26 community Gardaí. At the moment, they have 3 Gardaí community working with the community. And the Gardaí that work...
So do we not have Gardaí on the beat anymore?
Well, not to the same extent as we did 10 years ago, and that's the problem, is they are stretched beyond breaking point. They're tied up, and I know there's initiatives to reduce the workload in terms of the non-frontline activities that they take, processing, paperwork and all that. There is going to be employment of people to do that work. But I suppose it's also important that community, individuals who recognise these people, hand their names over to the Gardaí. They can't. People around Dublin, in communities right around the city, like I say, in Ringsend, people are being terrorised. And Pearse Street, they're being terrorised. They're afraid to go into shops. I met a woman there. She was afraid to go into the shop in case they came and landed like locusts on. And they are terrifying. And they are absolutely terrifying. They become like a pack of animals. And
that's exactly what you see in that video, a pack of animals, yeah.
And it's not unique. Like I say, it's happening right across the city, and it is something that it's a huge challenge for Dublin. And I think people...
let me read a message then, Chris. I mean, you're saying it's all to do with under-resourcing of Gardaí, and that's
it's not all to do.
No, I understand that. That's a fascinating statistic that from one Garda station there would have been 25 or 26 community guards on the beat 10 years ago. It's now 3. That's a shocking figure, and that does say something. But I would have thought that in our city centre we should have regular Gardaí on the beat who could be at an incident like that within 10 seconds, especially given that Pearse Street Garda station is so close. But let me read this message, and it says, "Don't be so surprised. The Gardaí in this country are useless and a bunch of cowards. I'm sick of the old excuse of under-resources."
I don't accept that. I would be obviously involved with different communities, and the frontline Gardaí are very committed. They really do work hard. They put their lives in danger. I'm involved with a homeless food centre, and there is obviously issues with the profile of people coming in, and they respond as best they can, and they're very professional. I have found in my experience they've been really professional. They work hard, but just isn't enough of them. There is not enough Gardaí out on the front line, and that is the problem for me. And
as somebody else just texted in, if that had been a major city in France or Spain, a van load of police armed to the teeth would have been there in seconds.
Again, because they're resourced. It comes down to resources. We can't hide from the fact, if the resources aren't being put into the frontline Gardaí. But also, I think... somebody else just said, and this is actually true, let your tax run out on your car and drive through the city centre and you'll be nabbed fairly quickly. Do you know what I mean? Listen, this is a really frustrating issue. It is. It's a quality of life issue. People do not want to be afraid to walk through the city and experience this sort of behaviour. But also, I know there's people out there who know who these people are. Why are they not passing the names on to the Gardaí?
What do the guards do, though? I mean, the guards
can arrest them. I know that they have arrested people.
They've arrested one 40-year-old.
Well, I don't know the details of that particular incident and why that 40-year-old chap was arrested, so I can't.
No, nor do I.
But I do know that Gardaí have arrested where young people have been identified. They have been young people have been arrested, and right across the board.
The reality of it is, Chris, they're out 5 minutes later. That's the sad reality of it. There are no consequences for them. But look, okay, in terms of an incident like this being allowed to continue for so long, you blame the resourcing of the Gardaí, that there aren't enough of them.
I suppose there's a number of elements. One is the under-resourcing of Gardaí. I think that's a key element. I think also the community, ordinary people, if they know, parents of those kids should know where they are. If they don't know where they are, they should know where they are. And if they don't, there needs to be consequences for, like you said, unfortunately, when it goes to the judges don't back up the Gardaí in many cases. And that's part of another problem. But also I think there needs to be a more assertive youth work programme, so that we have youth clubs. And I think it's important. Young people today, there is 90% of them are really, really positive. I engage with loads of different groups across the city, and they're really positive, they're energetic, they're loving life, they're having great fun. They're like that young girl who wrote that
the song, yes, absolutely.
Ruby, written by Ruby. There's so many good young people out there, but there's a hardcore that ruins it for everyone. And I think that we need to address it. Like I say, ordinary people have to work and support the Gardaí. They can't be intimidated. They can pass. There is a way of passing people's names on to the Gardaí to ensure that they are pointed out. Also, the Gardaí need resources, and we also need a much more active youth reach, assertive youth reach to work with those hard-to-get kids around the city. And so it isn't simple, but I do think that the Gardaí and the lack of resources is a key element.
All right, Sinn Féin Councillor Chris Andrews, thanks very much indeed for talking to us, and I'd love to hear from you on this on 6797981. You can text or WhatsApp us on 0877 98 98 98. You can send a WhatsApp voice message to that same number like this one did.
Morning, Adrian. Just a quick note regarding the Garda resources. No, there isn't a problem with Garda resources. What it is a problem with guards with balls. They don't go out onto the street these days anymore because they're afraid of their lives of these little scumbags. Because these little scumbags will go around carrying knives and they'll stick a knife in anybody. That's the problem these days with Dublin City Centre. It's an absolute kip of a place. Hate walking through it, hate being in it. Yeah, sometimes I'd be ashamed even to call myself a dub. It's a kip.
Well, having seen that video, that was exactly my reaction when I saw that video. Ashamed to be a dub. You can imagine inviting people from America and they witness that. Seriously. Anyway, if you want to have a look at just a brief extract from the videos, it's on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. And we're talking about the fact that the long video that I've seen lasts for 6 minutes. So the Gardaí weren't there for at least 7 minutes, even though Pearse Street Garda Station is a stone's throw away. Is it due to Garda under-resourcing? We'll take a very quick break. We'll take more of your calls in just a moment.
98 FM's Dublin Talks with Des Kelly Interiors. New store now open at Belgard Road, Tala.
98 FM.
And this is Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. We're in the middle of a conversation all to do with a video or videos that have done the rounds over the last 24 hours, filmed on Westmoreland Street on Wednesday evening. It shows bikes being smashed, just young thugs causing mayhem on Westmoreland Street, a bus not being able to move. That noise you're hearing is bikes being stood on and smashed to smithereens.
One way out! You! Me and you one-on-one, he's spinning my face, I want to fight! Come here, you! You, come here! All you!
Now, the thing that bothers us most about that whole incident is that the second video, the longer video, there are two of them doing the rounds, the longer video is 6 minutes long, so if you had around 7 minutes altogether. And even though Pearse Street Garda Station is a stone's throw away, no guards turned up in that 7 minutes. This was allowed to continue. So there's no guards on the beat, there's no guards running up the street, nothing. Not a sign of them. Pam is listening to us in Perth in Australia, is from Dublin. And Pam, you were sent that video by somebody obviously here.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Pam. How are you?
Hi, good. I'm great, thank you. We were actually, I look at Facebook each morning. We have a fairly strong and, big Irish community here in Perth. And we share a lot of things, mainly good things about, Ireland and Dublin. And we share. And this morning, one of the ladies on there posted it. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing, Adrian, quite honestly. I was ashamed, embarrassed. And, we fly the flag all over the world, hopefully for good. But this time I can honestly say I was totally embarrassed and ashamed to call myself a dub, and I
have to say, looking at it myself, I feel the same way. Yes,
I've been listening to you, Adrian, as I do each day, and I love, listening to
things from home, good and bad. Not everything's great, but not everything's bad, and we are a nation that, we span the world, and this is certainly making news, certainly in Australia anyway, and I'm sure it's been shared everywhere else. So,
it has, and it's sad. You see, what really annoys me most about this is that this is smack bang in the city centre. If you started a fight like that in Times Square in New York or Leicester Square in London, the police will be on you within seconds.
Absolutely, Adrian. And my husband, who is from London, and we do have family who are in the Met in England, you know what I mean, and are there on the scene, very, very, very quickly, and we are a nation too that talks when we see, other nations behaving like this, and rightly so, but, we really need to look at ourselves. And, my mum, who lives in Dublin and who loves going into the city, and she's very active and goes into the city very regularly and does get the bus on Westmoreland Street because she lives, not too far from the city. She's an elderly lady, and I do worry, innocent people getting caught up in this. You've got students who are coming, they want to study in Ireland. We should be happy to have them. They're trying to make a living, and this is the way they're treated. They're just trying to make a few euro to keep going, and it's a great service.
These, of course, you're referring to the Deliveroo drivers and whatever, and a lot of them are students, a lot of them are from places like Brazil and so on, just trying to make a crust. I'm sorry to hear that as a Dub in Australia you feel embarrassed having seen that video, although I completely understand, Pam, I have to say. And thanks very much indeed for listening to us every day as well, by the way.
My pleasure, I love it. Take care.
Good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. That's Pam in Perth in Australia. Liam, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Liam.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, thanks, Liam. Liam, you witnessed something like this in town before yourself, and again, the guards were nowhere to be seen.
The guard, right, so there's a lot here, right, that's going on. Basically, we were going out in town, we had about 3 or 4 points. The guy went off in a rampage, was screaming lunacy, like mad stuff, like England owns this country, all this kind of crazy stuff, and his girlfriend tried to calm him down, slammed her down the cobblestone. We ended up walking her kind of, I stood in between him and the girlfriend, and then we just walked her up to Dane Street. He ran from Temple Bar up the roads, taking his shirt off, then jumped me, smacked me on the side of the face, and then I just kind of danced with him and then ran around the cars and was telling people to call the cops because he was a lunatic. But all of this kind of happened, and they weren't seen for a good 15 minutes, and I had to kind of keep this about, like, running around with him, and then he was trying to go off onto someone else, and then I was like, here, pal, here, distract him, like, until the guards came. Now, he was absolutely mental and psychotic, and I've recently heard that he will be getting charged over for it.
Okay, well then let's be careful not to identify him, because you want to make sure somebody like that is charged. Yeah.
And I won't go into...
But do you feel, Liam, when I see incidents like that...
What I want to say, though, is that the guards, when I was talking to them, like, even after this incident, the guards took about 15 to 20 minutes to get there. Now, as soon as they got there and they seen the severity of this guy, they had then called in the van, which was there in 30 seconds. And this was off Dane Street. Then I went into a bathroom of nearby place going, Jesus, man, that was lunacy out there. And some guy was going mental inside in the bathroom, and then was going mental. And it was mad. It was like as if it was a full moon or something. But I got talking to the arresting copper then afterwards. And there's the reason why it's happening on Wednesday night, Adrian, is because a lot of them are on antidepressants, and a lot of them are taking a load of antidepressants, and then they're getting these labour or whatever kind of stuff they're getting on that weekday, and they're going out drinking on it, and that's why it's a Wednesday night madness. There's a bigger epidemic here than just... It's not about the resource of the guards, like the Sinn Féin, as I was on about there earlier. That's just a political spin. It's more to do with the guards knowing what's going on. And then they're like, oh, right.
Although somebody texted in a second ago to say, where's this message now? I've worked in Pearse Street Station doing maintenance. Behind the desk is a control room with up to 10 Gardaí watching screens surveying the city streets. How they didn't get there for 7 minutes is a joke.
They're letting them kill out each other until like when the 2 coppers got there with that specific incident and this guy was going crazy. He was literally shouting, arrest me, and all other stuff. But as soon as that became a situation for them, all right, guys, can we come in here? The van was there within 30 seconds. They're all sitting in the stations knowing that it's all about it's happening on Wednesday nights more and more often. That's why it's because people are on certain antidepressants and then taking alcohol with them because they're getting in a labour force as well. And that's why it's happening on the Wednesdays.
All right, thanks, Liam. Ghislaine and Mandy and Paul, I'll take your calls in just a moment. I'd love to hear from you on this on 6797981. You can text or WhatsApp 0877 98 98 98. What I'm hearing is one of the reasons that the Gardaí took so long to actually get there from Pearse Street Garda Station to Westmoreland Street on a Wednesday evening is they're under-resourced. Have a listen to this WhatsApp voice message from Peter.
Adrian, your last WhatsApp said it is right. The Garda have turned into a bunch of pansies. But when we were kids and we done that like that, the Garda would be on the screen and they'd be clubbing heads and you wouldn't be doing it again.
All right, I'd love to hear from you. 6797981. We're back in a second. Live and exclusive to Dublin's 98 FM, Monday through Friday between 10 and midday. This is Adrian Kennedy. You're with 98 FM's Dublin Talks. And Trish is here with Friday's top headlines.
Thanks, Adrian. More than 500 victims of rape or sexual assault were supported in court last year during their trials. The group Victim Support at Court says people are often surprised how close they have to sit to the accused when giving evidence. Street tablets are responsible for a third of drug-related deaths in Ireland. Campaigners say there's a growing problem with people taking excessive amounts of fake and counterfeit benzos and Z drugs. These can include tablets for conditions like anxiety and insomnia, which are being sold on the black market. There'll be disruption to DART services this weekend. Pearse and Tara Street stations will be closed on Saturday and Sunday as works continue on the roof. Lidl has announced plans to cut the amount of sugar in many of its own brand products by 20%. The supermarket chain is also planning to reduce the salt content in 850 of its products by next year. And Mumford & Sons are coming to Dublin this summer. The band are set to play Malahide Castle on June 14th. Tickets go on sale next Friday at 9 a.m. And now you're up to date on 98.
98 FM's Dublin Talks. Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
Friday morning, good morning. I hope everything is all right with you. I'm Adrian Kennedy and this is 98 FM's Dublin Talks. Now we're in the middle of a conversation all to do with an incident on Wednesday evening. And it's just a bloody brawl. Bikes being smashed, young fellas taking their T-shirts off and squaring up to delivery drivers and everything else. The fact of the matter is, what's most shocking about the video is that with the Garda station just a stone's throw away at Pearse Street, in the whole 6 or 7 minutes of the video, there's not a guard in sight. That's the really shocking part. Let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice message.
Hi, Adrian. Sorry I can't talk there at the moment. I'm just actually sick of people saying that Garda are unresourced, that there's not enough people. Like, they have to get it into their heads. We're not in a recession anymore. It's about time people get out there and start telling our government that this is not acceptable and start fighting for police.
Now, Liam, you were attacked yourself on the streets one night.
Yeah, I was attacked there last year. It was actually a guy who was gone completely off the rails. I was actually there a little bit back in the ass with the whole on, but yeah, he was arrested and that, and the guards, they said it's more of an epidemic about, you heard on the news there actually, just people taking a lot of different medicated stuff, and then they get a certain amount of money out on a Wednesday. I can't remember what it was, disability or whatever it is on the labour. And the guards told me this is what happens on a Wednesday night. And he said they were like, there's no point in us going out because they're just going to get away on it when it goes to court usually. Now this one, the difficulty with that is, and look, I understand the frustration that many guards must have if they arrest these lads, bring them to court, and the guard or the judge just throws it out. I understand that frustration. I can understand why they get so angry. However, with that particular incident on Wednesday, I don't know if you've seen the videos, Liam. There were other people around. There was a double-decker bus full of people, and one of those bikes could have been flung through the windscreen of it. Other people get affected when the guards don't bother their arse turning up. I agree with you completely. But this is That one incident I had with a guy, I went in then to a chipper downstairs because there's blood on his face to wash it off, and I made a passing comment to going, geez man, it's bleeding mental out there. And then that guy was nearly going off, and I couldn't get over why there's copious amounts of people acting like lunatics on the Wednesday. And I had said it then to the guards afterwards, because they had to go into the station and give a statement about a week or two later. And he was like, oh, listen, this happens a lot on the Wednesdays. And it's not just the one incident of one guy, it's a lot of people, because they're all out on either antidepressants and they're all out on certain medications. And this could, like, there's a lot of them on it. That's why they're out on the Wednesday, because they all get then certain amounts of payments. There's a big correlating factor on the Wednesday nights out in town that people are going out and acting like lunatics.
There was another video that was doing the rounds last week and has actually been sent in to me just now. And this was filmed on O'Connell Street last week or the week before. Again, a huge crowd around. Two fellas, one with his top off, and they're literally standing on O'Connell Street, on the street itself. And they're basically having a boxing match. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen this video as well, okay? This is on O'Connell Street, and again, not a Garda to be seen. How long does this video go on? This goes on for 6.5 minutes. So there's two lads, one of them has his top off, and they are basically having a bare-knuckle boxing fight on O'Connell Street. The video goes on for ages. The two lads are knocking lumps out of each other. And the whole time that this video was being filmed, it was like it was being staged for a movie, because there's literally not a guard around, even though there are hundreds of people gathered around them as they have their bare knuckle boxing fight. Not a Garda to be seen. And as was said a second ago, we need to start demanding that we do have a proper Garda presence. It's just unbelievable. Michael, why are you saying this has been blown out of all proportion?
I just think people are overreacting.
Overreacting to the lack of Garda presence?
Well, it's nothing to do, as far as it's nothing to do with the guards, in my mind. I mean, this antidepressant waffle that people are coming out with, that's just nonsense. People get paid every week on social welfare, and they take antidepressants every day, so they're not acting out every second day. Like, so this, I don't know where they're going.
Although I have to say, I've had a number of calls and a number of messages from people saying exactly this, that this is happening more. Antisocial behaviour in the city is rampant on a Wednesday. Now, I never knew that, but anyhow. But sorry, you're saying it's been blown out of proportion. You think it's okay to have a bloody brawl on one of our busiest, most central streets in the city?
No. I think that the reporting of this is a bit imbalanced. And first of all, it was a full moon on Wednesday for what that's worth, right? But I've had incidents with those Deliveroo lads. They have a bit of an attitude problem, first of all, right? Mm-hmm. And secondly, I watched that video there, right? And those Deliveroo lads were dancing on a bike. It was a bit of give and take in that fight.
That's not really my issue here. My issue here is...
You can't blame the guards, though, Adrian. You can't be just blaming the guards on this.
You can't blame the guards for taking more than 7 minutes to get a 30-second walk from Pearse Street Garda Station.
Well, here's how I see it, right? So you've got these lads having a scrap on the street, right? They're the ones responsible for it. People want to go back and blame the guards. Why don't we go further back and blame the bankers for cutting the funding to the guards? Like, where do you want to go with this? People just need to cop on.
I want to know, Michael, why it took over 7 minutes for the guards to get from Pearse Street. It's literally a 30-second walk. They have cameras surveilling the whole city centre. And the other one on O'Connell Street a week or two ago is just the same thing. Not a guard to be seen.
No. If you're a guard, right, and you're under-resourced and you're looking at that on the screen, right, what you're going to think is, are they a danger to the public? Right? Now, the boxing match on O'Connell Street, the two lads were knocking the shit out of each other. They weren't attacking anybody else. So
no, I know that, but hang on.
Yeah, but the guards are going to look at
Firstly, in that one, they were blocking O'Connell Street. There was a huge crowd around. Even if you were...
No, they weren't blocking it. People could move freely and the traffic could move freely. People were stopping to look, but you could move freely. But the guards...
Sorry, hang on. I'm only after looking at the video a second ago. Not on that side of O'Connell Street, you couldn't.
You could move. You couldn't.
Hang on. In the 6 minutes of that video, not one car drove past them.
People were staring at the fight because it was exciting. That's what they were looking at. They weren't being blocked.
No, I didn't.
Can't block traffic.
And you think it's okay for two lads to have a fight in the middle of O'Connell Street, in the centre of our city?
Well, we're living in a world now where being a man is a crime. So people are having such a major reaction to lads being hyper-masculine. So there's a lot more to this. Look, the guards are going to look at these incidents and they're going to say to themselves, are they a danger to the public? No. And they're under-resourced, right? If there had been someone just attacking citizens, maybe. But the guards can say, these lads are not going to straight out of each other. There's no rush here. We get there when we get there. Same with the thing that happened there on Wednesday night. So, they're...
Sorry, again, I have to come back to this O'Connell Street thing. You're saying nobody was being blocked. This incident happened in the middle of the street at O'Connell Bridge, okay?
Yeah, but people are so... Yeah, but people have been so... what's the word? People have been so... I don't know what the word is,
You see, Michael, this might be your normal. But this isn't
not my normal. I'm just saying that people are so PC now, and so people are shocked by anything. Literally anything. You can't say anything in this day and age. So something like this is going to super hyper shock people. And realistically, this is how we've carried on for generations. This isn't new. This goes on and has gone on and on and on. There's people ringing in there going on about France and Spain and all. I watched a video 2 nights ago of a French female police officer getting rocks bounced off her and she's bawling her eyes out, and that happened last week. So I don't know what people are going on about.
All right, stay there for a second. 6797981 is our telephone number. Ghislaine, you're on 98 FM. How are you?
Hi, how are you? How are you?
Now, you are Brazilian.
I am indeed, yeah.
And what did you want to say on this?
Look, I have to disagree with Michael, with what he's saying there now, right? A couple of days just before, I think it was the day before that video, a girl just, between Dame and Parliament Street, she was basically attacked by a bunch of girls. He was saying about being a man these days is a sin or something like that. The girl was literally pulled by the hair by a group of girls. She was literally thrown to the ground, and then people had to actually pull her apart so the girls wouldn't catch on hitting her. And these are girls, they were just there hanging around doing nothing. I know it's midterm break at the moment, kids are off school, including teenagers. But my point is, right, if you can't walk on the streets, and that's not just us Brazilians, right? That's anyone, Irish, Italian, French, anyone. If you cannot walk on the streets, right, going about your business, you're going to school, you're going to work, you're just walking around, what else do we do then? It's not ideal for anyone, to be, being subjected to these kind of attacks. That's not ideal at all. And it's not about a sex thing, as Michael was saying. It's more, it goes beyond that. And there is, of course, a correlation, if you go, from, when the recession hit, when there was bad decisions literally taken by the government, politically, socially, economically speaking, where, benefits were cut, then guard stations were closed. You would see less and less guards on the streets. And of course, that had an impact, I'd say for social programs related to youth and everything like that. Of course, that boils to a point where these days, this is what you see on the street. And that's not on. That's not something anyone...
And this is the point that I was trying to make to Michael. This is not my normal. This is not the sort of city I want to live in, where the main street, the centre of our city is overtaken on 2 different occasions within 2 weeks, and not a Garda to be seen to stop it and disperse the crowd. It wouldn't happen anywhere else. That's the point I was making, Michael. This wouldn't be allowed to happen in New York or London or Zurich. It just wouldn't.
I lived in London, and the worst happens in London. They throw acid in people's faces.
Yeah, but there's also 12.5 million people living in London, okay? So it's a much bigger place.
But people's behaviour is not judged on the amount of people that there is. That's crazy. New York, they had Rudy Giuliani going in there, and he went in like the sheriff of Dodge City, and he cleaned up everything, right? But Rudy Giuliani's actions got the streets clean, but their prison system and all is heavily overburdened, because all those people that were on the streets are all now in prison for minor crimes, and also Zurich is a financial place, and that's untouchable. That place is sacred, and Berlin, all these other places Berlin is overrun with with ISIS fighters and all. Like all these other places you're going around, there is madness. All these people.
Okay, so there's madness everywhere, is what you're saying. It's not just Dublin, and we shouldn't be focusing on Dublin.
Like, it's not the madness that's the issue here. It's the reaction. It's people's lack of awareness. People are.
Okay, Michael, what I would argue with you is, yes, okay, there may be stuff like this goes on in every city in the world, but the police respond immediately. That's the difference. That's the big difference here. Dave, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Dave?
All right, Adrian.
Dave, what did you want to say?
How many incidents, like, how is it that, like, every time there's, like, really bad antisocial behaviour type videos going around, it's always in Dublin? Like,
always.
Are the guards doing it? Like, I'm not saying Dublin's the only place for scumbags, but, like, go to other towns in Ireland, you wouldn't see this. If something like that happened in the middle of the street, the guards would be on you in no time flat. Do you know? What's the story? Like, it's not normal or exciting for young fellas and young ones to be walking around the streets like a pack of animals. Do you know, we live in a civilised society. You should be able to walk down the street without fear of some junkie coming up robbing your phone, or some jumped up little scumbag with a superiority complex trying to start a fight with you. Do you know, and you keep hearing this stuff from people saying, like, these bad rundown areas, like, everybody else is grand, but it's only a small minority. Why don't the majority of people do something about it? Do you know, if the guards aren't going to do it, why not take the law into your own hands?
But you're looking at that O'Connell Street video from a week or two ago. The crowd just gathered around as if they were in Madison Square Garden watching a boxing match.
Right, well, fair enough. That's two fellas boxing heads off each other, fine. But I talked about them scumbags yesterday.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people on the streets. They could have surrounded them, kicked the back off, and teach them a lesson.
Well, no, I wouldn't. But
see, this is the problem, Adrian. This is the problem. When everybody else just stands around...
It's not our job to be Rambo now, in fairness.
I know it's not everybody's job to be Rambo, but here's the thing. When the guards aren't going to do anything about it, people need to take the law into their own hands. It's an unfortunate thing, but it happens. We had a problem down where I live with a guy. He was driving around robbing people's houses. He was spotted off up the hill somewhere. Two farmers blocked him in at the side of the road. They took him off into the middle of a field, made him dig a hole at gunpoint. And they told him if they ever saw him around there again, he'd go into the hole.
Yeah, but I don't know if we want to go back down that road again. We did have that sort of thing for years. Just two very quick calls. I'm way out of time on this. Paul, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Paul?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you, Paul. What did you want to say?
I just want to say that basically the guards are useless. The guards are obviously to blame for this. I've lived here for 7 years, a lovely country. I've got a lot of lovely friends, but that would never happen in Glasgow. Never. In the space of 2 minutes, the place would be swarming police cars. There'd be transport police running out the train station. That was basically a riot. Now, if you look at that video, there's a middle-aged woman in that crowd. She looks quite shocked. She looks maybe as if she's trying to go on the bus. There's bikes flying through the air. Like, seriously, what does it take for the guards are obviously sitting watching this happen, and it's just absolutely shocking the length of time. And then the incident.
So if an incident like that was to happen in Glasgow, the police would be surrounding it within seconds.
I can tell you a fact. I was driving buses in Glasgow, and there was an incident that happened. I stopped at a set of traffic lights. The lights went to red, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 guys piled out a pub. They're punching each other's heads in the middle of the road. Now, I'm sitting at traffic lights, and just as the traffic lights went to change to green almost, 2 police cars appeared. They blocked the road. I obviously had to stop, and the road was just closed off with police. There was police everywhere. Batons were out, and they just arrested so many people. Now,
right. And so it was dealt with immediately.
Immediately, it was there.
So when you see that video from Westmoreland Street on Wednesday, as I said, one of the videos is 6 minutes long. That would never happen in Glasgow.
It wouldn't happen in Glasgow. And Glasgow's quite a violent city. There's a lot of trouble there. There's a lot of trouble, but it's dealt with very, very quickly. If you hit the panic button, for example, if you phone the police and they say there's a riot basically in Argyle Street, which is the equivalent of Westmoreland Street, it's all hell would break loose. There'd be police running from everywhere. You wouldn't be able to move. The place had been locked down. They would just arrest everybody. They would all be fined, taken to court, and it's a bit of a deterrent. That's not a deterrent.
That is part of the problem here. There is no deterrent here. And in fact,
so all these folks doing that.
You can have an organised boxing match in the middle of O'Connell Street and there's nobody there to stop you.
The lads that were doing that yesterday, they've all walked away, and in their heads they think, sure, next week or tomorrow, we can just do it again, because sure, nothing's going to happen. And that's just the way life is. If you don't get punished for something, sure, you're going to keep doing it.
All right, good to talk to you, Paul. Thanks very much indeed. And let's wrap this up to get the perspective from a man who works as a cop in the States, has served in both New York and Boston. Warren, welcome to 98 FM.
How are you, sir? Thank you for having me.
Warren, you're familiar with this video? You've seen what happened?
I just turned on the radio here.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm in Dublin and it caught my attention.
Right, a brawl breaks out on a city street. Bikes are being smashed to smithereens, and it's been filmed for over 7 minutes and not a policeman in sight. Would that happen in Boston or New York?
I would have to say no. With the response and the time that we would have to get there, we would certainly, come in numbers. We have the training. We also have the equipment, that the gear that we would have to approach these hoodlums and take care of the situation.
This particular incident that we're referring to happened a 30-second walk from a Garda station, from a police station.
Yeah.
Does that shock you?
I would say no. I mean, the resources and the demands on the police departments are extreme. These situations that the police do get involved in, we have been criticized for being too aggressive in taking control of situations. Some of the videos that have been shown only show portions of exactly what happened or what led up to the arrest of these people.
Yes,
so sometimes there's a little bit of hesitation.
I'm aware that before those videos began, something kicked it all off. I don't know what it was that kicked it all off, but what I do know is that the response time from the Gardaí was just ridiculous. It was just far too short because they have surveillance cameras overlooking the entire city. Anyway, Warren, thank you very much indeed for your call, and thank you all of you for your calls. Live from Dublin City Centre, this is 98 FM.
98 FM.
Dublin Talks. And it's Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. It is Friday, and every Friday we bring you Good News Friday. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Now, Good News Friday is where we try to lighten the mood a little bit, because it's Friday and it's nearly the weekend. And Good News Friday is where we ask you to share with us your little bit of good news, something that has happened in your world that it's just good. Now, it could be something really, really small, but for you, it is good news. Jeremy's here with me for this bit of the show.
My good news is tiny this week, but Jesus, is good news. It's great news.
Okay, go on, yeah.
It's a bit, people are going to hear this and go, geez, you're pathetic. Have you nothing else going on in your life?
Okay.
But my good news is my local chipper now does home deliveries.
Right. And that's good news. Why?
Well, they hadn't up till now, and it's always a hassle when you're at home and you fancy a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Time to get into the car, and the chipper's quite a distance away. Get into the car and drive around to the chipper, and then wait in the chipper. Well, I got a leaflet in our door yesterday saying that our local chipper is now delivering to the house. So last night, Adrian, I was sitting at home and had a bit of a goo on me.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't had any dinner, so I rang the local chipper, and there's a no minimum charge, so you can order like a bag of chips.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no minimum.
Yes, yeah.
So last night I was watching Netflix. What are you watching on Netflix at the moment, by the way?
Nothing, because I'm engrossed in another show at the moment. Have you seen The Handmaid's Tale?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
really? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, I was at home watching Netflix yesterday evening and I had a goo on me. Rang the local chipper, ordered 3 scallops and a curry sauce.
Oh, lovely, yeah, very nice.
You can't beat scallops,
yeah.
Which of course are potatoes in batter.
Yep.
And it arrived within 10 minutes.
Okay, so that's your good news.
Yeah.
That the local chipper is now doing deliveries. What is your good news? Call us right now on 6797 981. You can text or WhatsApp 0877 98 98 98. And we've another bit of good news today. And our good news is that our Katie is finishing up today for her maternity leave.
Yes, she is.
Now, you might wonder why that is good news. No. You come work with Katie and you'll see why it's good news. I'm only joking. Katie, we love you lots.
No, Katie, who's worked with us for many, many years, who is the cog that turns everything together.
Yep, that's right.
That's what I was told to say, by the way.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, she's heading off on maternity leave at 12 o'clock today, straight after the show, for 6 months. And it's a big thing for her. It's her first baby.
Yep.
And it's a big thing for us as well, because we're going to be without her for 6 months. Now, we have Rachel, who's replacing her.
Yep.
Who's brilliant as well. But it's not going to be the same.
It won't be the same, sure it won't.
Yeah. Tell us
Be
what's the
better.
good news. Stop.
Anyway, there you go. That's our good news. Very best of luck to Katie. She's going on her maternity leave after the show today for 6 months or whatever length of time she manages to swindle out of the company. And she'll be back with us September, October. So the very best of luck to Katie and to Alan and the new baby, hopefully in a couple of weeks. Now, what is your good news? Call us right now on 6797 981.
98 FM's Dublin Talks with Des Kelly Interiors. New store now open at Belgard Road, Tala.
98 FM.
It's Friday morning, and every Friday we love doing this. We call it Good News Friday. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Good News Friday is where we ask you to share with us some good news from your world, from your life, from your work, from your family, from whatever it is. All you have to do is call us on 6797 981, and some lucky person could win themselves passes for IMC Cinemas. Now, I know, Jeremy, you get a little bit anxious at this time of the week every week.
Why is that?
Because...
Oh, my young fella. Yeah, he's not well at the moment, by the way.
Oh, is he not?
He has an awful head cold. Why is he on the line?
He is.
I didn't think he was going to be on today.
Okay, let's go live to Jeremy's gaff, and joining me on the line is young Mr. Dixon.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Guess what? The postman came with a delivery for me.
Ooh.
Inside was Indiana Jones Lego.
Well, that's for me.
My daddy helped to build it. I think my daddy thinks it's his.
It is mine. It is mine.
Mine, Daddy.
It's not. It's mine.
But don't worry, sharing is caring. do, 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 do.
Why don't start singing Indiana Jones?
Do, 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 do.
It's my Lego, by the way.
I have some more good news. Katie, a researcher, is going off on maternity leave. Her little baby is nearly ready to say hi to the world. We can't wait to meet you, little baby. Everyone in 98 wishes you the best, Katie. And Royale too, of course.
That's her husband's name, Royale.
Guys. Okay, everyone, you know the drill.
Yes, we know.
Call 6797-9821.
That Lego's mine.
And tell us your Good News Friday. Call Katie and Jamie now. 98. The sound of the city.
Would you give over?
He's such a company man already. How old is he?
He's 4. He thinks that Lego is his. That's actually true. A delivery arrived from eBay and it was Lego Indiana Jones, and he's like, oh, Daddy, is this for me? He doesn't understand that his father plays with Lego. He'll probably be warped in later life, will he be, because his father plays with Lego?
Yeah.
He gets slagged in school over it. Anyway, yeah, Katie and Mayal, who's Katie's husband, we do wish them the best of luck.
Absolutely. Yep.
Their life is about to change for the good.
Now, where am I going? Good News Friday. Share it with us on 6797 981. Wayne, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Wayne?
Hey, Adrian, how are you?
Good, thanks, Wayne. Wayne, what is your good news?
My good news Friday is we're expecting our second child any day now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks very much. We're going into the rotunda on Tuesday to get the other half induced.
Right, so she's obviously due now, is she?
Due last Saturday.
Oh, right, so she's nearly a week over.
Nearly a week over, so it'll be 10 days over on the Tuesday.
Right, okay, so if little baby hasn't arrived by Tuesday, little baby's arriving on Tuesday.
By force.
Yeah, exactly. All right, do you know what you're having?
No, we don't. No, we didn't find out.
No, good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I'm well into that. Actually, to her credit, I have to credit Katie, because I never thought she would be able to go the whole 9 months without finding out what she's
Katie
having.
can't hold her you-know-what.
Yeah, but she hasn't found out what the baby is. So
no, we just decided to leave it and just wait until the day.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right thing to do.
I couldn't do it.
No, I think it's the right thing to do, because it's one of those surprises in life that you can't replicate any other time.
Yeah, exactly.
And
your first baby, is your first baby a boy or a girl?
The first is a boy, born on my birthday.
No way.
Nearly 7 years ago.
So father and son share the same birthday day?
Share the same birthday.
That's cool.
Fantastic. Very good. All right, good to talk to you, Wayne. Well done.
Right,
and
cheers,
best of luck with the baby. And Gareth, you're on 98 FM.
How are you doing, lad?
How are you, Gareth?
How are you getting on?
Gareth, what is your good news?
In 4 weeks' time, we're heading to Orlando. For 2 weeks.
Fantastic, isn't it? So you're literally, you're now like counting, it's 28 days left.
I have the app and all on my phone.
Have you really? Oh yeah, I had one of them counting down to a holiday, and it'll flash up 259 days left to your holiday, because I booked my holidays far in advance. But anyway, that's brilliant. 28 days. Orlando's just a mega place.
Yeah. Have you been there before?
Yet. No, we were in Euro Disney years ago.
It's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah. This is Euro Disney with knobs on.
Yeah, we got it for the kids for Christmas. It was from Mammy and Daddy. Santi wasn't getting the credit for it.
I just want to prepare you for something that is unique to Orlando that you never see anywhere else, okay? And I just want to prepare you so you know this, Gareth. Everybody, all the Americans in Orlando, yeah?
Yeah.
They walk around eating turkey legs, don't they, Adrian? Have you ever seen? They walk around eating these big turkey legs in their hand.
Yes, they do.
Around theme parks. It's absolutely disgusting. It's a thing that you do in Orlando. When you're in Orlando, you buy this big turkey leg, and it's wrapped in tin foil, and they literally walk around the theme parks chewing on turkey legs.
Lads, that's the Yanks for you. Like,
yeah, that is Americans. That doesn't just happen in Orlando. It happens everywhere in America.
I've only ever seen it in Orlando.
There's savages over there. Anyway, Gareth, enjoy the countdown to the holiday.
I will, lad.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice message.
Today, I'm going to have a sleepover, and my mum bought me a new Dublin hat for the Dublin match that I'm going to tomorrow, and my sister Carla, up the dog!
Yay!
The kids are taking over.
I'm at the Dublin match. And in the sleepover, we always have a bubble bath. And it's so fun. And we have a fishing rope. And they have a dog called Murky. And they have a fishing rope that you put into the bath. And we have fishies too. And we always have nice dinners.
We always have nice dinners.
Brilliant.
Isn't it amazing how excited, and we did as well as kids, how excited kids get over a bubble bath, something as simple as a bubble bath. Do you remember the fella, what was his name, that was around when we were kids? With the hat on him.
Oh,
the bubble bath. Does anybody remember his name? He was around when Adrian was a kid and when I was a kid. And
what's his name?
Well, I don't know, that's what I'm asking. He was a bubble bath, and he was dressed as a sailor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And you took the sailor's hat off. No, it was just bubble bath. It was normal bubble bath. But it was exciting, wasn't it? What was his name? Can you still get him? What's his name?
I can't remember.
He was was he a sailor or a pilot or something like that?
I don't know. Anyway, by the way, because that child just mentioned, Dublin, they take out Mayo this weekend. The very best luck, lads, because we need to start winning games. You know, Kerry beating us, and
it's the league.
Yeah, no, but still, no, it's not feeling good.
What's the name of the bubble bath?
I don't know. Anyway, the best luck to the Dubs playing Mayo this weekend. Now, where am I going? Una, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Una?
Hi, excuse me. Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Good, thanks, Una. What is your good news?
The good news is that my husband got assessed for a back operation that he's been suffering for the last 15 years.
Oh, really?
And they're going to have the op now. He's over the moon, and I've also a daughter get married in July. So he's
lovely.
Walking down the aisle.
So he's been needing this back operation for a long, long time.
Yeah, he's been put off on and on. It's a severe operation. He could end up in a wheelchair, but he said the pain he's in the minute, he can't get any worse. So he's getting assessed now.
That's the risk that he's taking, is it?
Well, the doctor said people are nearly in their 70s came out okay. So the risk he has at the moment, he can hardly walk, Adrian. He's in agony and in pain. you can't walk either way, you know.
Okay, so, yeah, okay. Well, then...
No, they wouldn't if they thought it was going to harm, but I have a daughter getting married too in July, so it's the good news now is that to be assessed. So,
and when will he be having the operation?
April, please, God.
April, okay. So hopefully he'll be recovered in time for the wedding to be able to walk her up the aisle. Brilliant. That is fantastic news, Una.
And Luke is so cute, Jeremy.
Oh, thanks very much.
Cute, Jeremy.
Yeah, try living at him when he won't eat his dinner. He's not as cute then.
Good to talk to you, Una. Thanks very much indeed.
Adrian, is it called jelly bath? We used to have it as kids, says this person. You pour it into the bath and it turns into jelly. No, this was actual bubble bath.
I can see it in my mind's eye. And he had a hat on.
He had a white hat on, and the hat was the cap. And you twisted the cap when you pour it in, and then you played with the toy after.
Name?
Jelly bath. Was it jelly bath?
No, it wasn't. No, definitely not. Violet, you're on 98 FM. Hi, Violet.
Hi, lads. How you going?
Big day tonight, or big night tonight?
We have a big night tonight. It is my son's 21st and my daughter's 18th.
Your son's 21st and your daughter's 18th. Very good. What, have they the same birthday?
No, hers was a couple of weeks ago, but she was in the middle of her mock exams at the time. So.
All right, very good. And are you having a party in a hotel, or what are you doing?
Oh, we're just going to the local pub. We, shop local and.
Look at Adrian trying to get a DJ gig out of it.
No, I wasn't actually. No.
Well, you could do it because the publican forgot to book the singer. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no. I'm off down to Cork after the show, so I'm not going to be around. Sorry about that. That's brilliant. Congratulations. 18 and 21. Are they your eldest or youngest or?
They're the two in the middle. We've got a 17-year-old.
All right, very good. Well, congratulations, son and daughter, 21 and 18 birthdays tonight. Thanks, Violet. And finally, Marie is in Malahide. You're on 98 FM. Marie, how are you?
Hi, Marie's not actually in Malahide. How are you, Adrian? How are you, Jeremy?
How are you?
Hiya, how are you?
Not too bad. First of all, Jeremy, I love your little fella. I live for Friday for Luke.
Jeez, God, you need to get out of it, Marie.
I have a Luke as well, because they were both. I used to say actually at the same time. I never went over to him, and you'd be the same time. You'd be going to the outpatients. My daughter would be going, and I just would take the two of them, the two Lukes, your Luke and I call him my Luke.
Ah, very good.
Boy, I may have to break my neck. Here I am. Straight here he is on now.
So are they're both the same age, are they?
They are, well, yeah. Yours is November and mine is June.
Very good.
They're in. Whereas little voice and I don't know, it's just a little soft little voice.
Yeah, can I just say to everybody who's loving on me son, he's not always like that. You're seeing the good.
He's not all that. I tell you, there'd be something wrong if he was like that. If he was
24/7 all day, every day.
Yeah. Can I just say the best of luck to Katie and Alan as well?
Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
It's great talking to you.
You too.
Talk.
Thanks, right, now, the name of the bubble bath.
There's lots of different names coming in. This is something that we grew up in the 80s and 70s, and it was a famous bubble bath, and I don't think you can get it anymore, but if you can, I haven't seen it in the shops. What's it called? Did you get the name?
Yeah, Mr. Matey. Ahar, he was a sailor.
Okay.
Or he was a pirate or something.
Mr. Matey.
Mr. Matey. There's a photograph of him there. Look.
Look,
that's
him.
That's him there. Yeah,
oh, he's changed over the years.
He has changed. Can you still get him? You must be able to still get him. Yeah, Yeah, you can still get him, actually. Mr. Matey Bubble Bath.
Oh, in fact, yeah, Tesco sell them. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And for the person who texted in, was a Captain Birdseye? No.
Yeah, he made fish fingers.
Okay, on the way after the break, it's time for our Friday quiz, our Say What You See quiz. You could win yourself a €50 gift card from Des Kelly Interiors and passes for the cinema at IMC. If you want to take part in the quiz, get on the blower straight away to 6797 981. We're going to fly through the quiz as we always do, and we'll take our first contestants after the break. Call us on 6797 981.
98 FM's Dublin Talks with Des Kelly Interiors. New store now open at Belgard Road, Tala. 98 FM.
Isn't YouTube an amazing invention? Somebody just sent me a link to this. Who actually uploads this sort of stuff onto YouTube? This might bring back memories to some of you.
It's a battle of fun. You slip me in the bath. I'm loved by everyone. I'm always good for a laugh.
Matey for clean fun.
And while they splash in the tub, your matey gets them clean, so you don't have to scrub, no matter where as they've been.
Matey gets kids clean.
I've one more thing to tell. You may feel these things right, so I clean the bath as well. There ain't a mark in sight.
Matey, clean fun, clean kids, and a clean bath.
So it cleans the kids and it cleans the bath. God knows what was in that thing.
But can we just say it's a lot safer now? It's lovely now.
I'm sure it is. All right.
What product can clean your skin and clean the mould off a bath?
I don't know. Matey, apparently. Anyway, it's time for our quiz, our Say What You See quiz. If you want to take part, call us on 6797981. And our first contestant is Keith. You're on 98 FM. Keith, how are you?
Gentlemen, how are we?
Good, thanks, Keith. Who would you like to play with, Adrian or Jeremy?
Jeremy, please.
Jeremy it is. All right, you know how it works. The person with the highest score wins our €50 gift card from Des Kelly Interiors. And we'll throw a pair of cinema passes for IMC in there as well. Okay, here we go. A minute on the clock and your 1 minute starts right now.
Oh, this is a song by, is it Marvin Gaye?
The Great Point?
No, and it goes, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Isn't that what it says? Your woman whispers, doesn't she? Let's get down tonight. Isn't that what she says?
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
It's a sexy song. Wake up, wake up.
Sexual healing.
Sexual healing is the correct answer. Here's your next one.
This is what people say in the gym. If you don't make a healthy dinner every day, you're not gonna pass. It's fail to.
No idea.
No, I've no idea. I've never heard that.
But you've never been in the gym.
I have been. I was texting somebody.
Have you ever been in the gym, Keith?
No, I'm allergic to gyms.
Allergic to gyms. You and Adrian are like brothers here. No, you have no idea what it is?
No idea.
Right.
Okay.
Good luck. Thank you.
Clearly don't. Do you prep, Adrian? Do you even prep?
Sorry?
Do you prep?
Prep?
Do you know what prep means?
Is that like peeling the potatoes for your dinner?
No, it's when you on a Monday where you make your 7 dinners for the whole week.
Who could be harsh with that?
People who are into fitness.
Richie, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Richie?
How are you guys, all right?
Richie, do you know what that expression is?
Is it fail to prepare to fail?
Yes, well done.
That's the right answer. We're going to give you a point to kick you off. Who do you want to play with, Adrian or Jeremy?
Yourself, Adrian.
Okay, you've a minute on the clock. You've already got one, and your 1 minute starts now.
Here's your first one, Adrian.
Okay, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Next line.
All the king's horses, all the king's men could put Humpty together again.
That's exactly right. Well done. Okay, here comes your next one. This is what a Spaniard will say. Goodbye, my friend.
Adios, amigos.
Correct is the right answer. Here's your next one. Who said that? Oh.
Well, everybody says it. You say it to a friend when they say something that really annoys you.
That's really horrible. You're saying to somebody,
you're no longer alive in my eyes.
Yeah.
You're dead to the world.
That's close enough. You're dead to me. Yeah, okay. That's the right answer. Here's your next one. This is a musical. It's been huge over the last couple of years. It's, what's his name? Who stars in it? Oh,
Who?
No, it's a musical, and I haven't even seen it yet. But your man stars in it. What's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman stars in it.
Oh, the greatest show on air.
The greatest show on
air.
No.
The greatest show of all.
No, I can't take that.
The greatest show.
No, can't take
the greatest show, man.
Yes, that's the right answer. Richie, you got there in the end. You got a score of 5. You're in the lead with 5. Well done.
All right, lads.
Thanks very much indeed. Next we go to Gareth. You're on 98 FM. Gareth, how are you?
All right, lads.
Hey, Gareth.
Gareth, who would you like to play with, Adrian or Jeremy?
Jeremy, please.
Jeremy it is. Okay, you're trying to beat a score of 5, and you've a minute to try and do it, and your 1 minute starts now. Here we go.
Oh, this is a Dublin expression for someone who's drunk, and it's all about your white piece of material. You're 6 of them. You've 6 white, or how many?
What are you talking?
6 sheets to the wind. Isn't that how many it is?
It's not 3 sheets to the wind. Well, whatever.
It depends how drunk you are. This is something you'd say, that a man would say to another man about a woman. So say I'd say to Adrian, do you think Avril is good looking? And Adrian would say, well, let me put it this way, I wouldn't
kick her out of bed for eating crisps.
Yes!
Is the correct answer. Very good, Gareth.
Who eats crisps in bed?
Here's your next one.
Oh, this is a line from the song Shotgun. Da, ba, ba, in the yellow with me.
The baby's always singing it.
Yeah.
Time flies by in the yellow and green.
Well, that's the right answer. Good man. Here's your next one.
Oh, this is it's a song, isn't it? It's a song about a man who likes big bottoms.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Yes, the correct answer. You're flying along here. Here's your next one.
Is that French or Spanish?
French.
Oh, it's French. French for have a nice journey or have a good time.
Buongiorno, is it?
No, not buongiorno. Bon
voyage.
Bon
Is
voyage.
the right answer. And fantastically, Gareth, you've tied with our last contestant.
Oh, lovely.
Brilliant, you're on 5 as well. Thanks, Gareth.
Cheers, lad.
Good luck. Next we go to Miriam. You're on 98 FM. Miriam, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Hi, Miriam.
Miriam, will you please beat 5, because tie breaks don't really work for me. So,
Sorry?
Can you please beat 5?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
Too good for me
I'm doubting it myself.
I think she will genuinely. Is this Miriam genuinely? Miriam?
What, Miriam O'Callaghan?
Are you Miriam O'Callaghan?
No.
You sound exactly like her.
Does she?
She does. Genuinely.
Okay, Miriam, who would you like to play with, Adrian or Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Okay. I'm not holding out much hope here, but anyway, we'll give it a shot. You have a minute on the clock, Germany, and your 1 minute starts now.
He's a narco. He's a drug lord. He was from Colombia.
Oh.
Do you know any drug dealers from Colombia?
Do you know any in Drimna?
Lord.
Well, this one's not from Drimna. He's from Colombia, and his name in English would be Peter.
I probably read the book.
You were right, Adrian, what you said at the offset. You
so
were
I stand by that.
Yeah.
So.
Come on, name a drug dealer from Colombia.
And they did a big television show about him.
Do you think she watched Narcos now? Miriam. Yeah, him. Oh, yeah, he used to have a big moustache, a big Ronnie.
What is your initial?
PB. No, P. What's his PE. This is a struggle.
No, this is a struggle. I did say.
Hang on.
I did alert you to this.
Miriam, can you name a drug dealer from Colombia? Yeah.
That's a whole minute of my life we've just wasted.
Miriam, have you ever watched Narcos on Netflix?
No. I don't watch Netflix.
Do you have Netflix?
No.
Get the woman a Netflix account, would you?
God's sake. Miriam. Are you there? Yeah. Well done, Miriam.
Was Miriam ever there, Adrian?
Well done, you did brilliantly. You got a score of 0.
I think she knows. Do you know the name of the drug dealer from Colombia, Miriam?
No.
Miriam, if we come back to you next week, will you know the name of the drug dealer from Colombia?
Sure I will.
Okay, we go on to Google, Miriam, and you'll find out the answer, okay?
All right.
Right, good luck. Bye.
It's not often you're right on this show.
I know, but I was right there. I knew from the split second.
And that wasn't easy.
She did sound exactly like Miriam O'Callaghan, in fairness. John is next. How are you, John?
How are you, lads?
Good, John. John, do you know the name of the drug dealer from Colombia?
Pablo Escobar, was it?
Pablo who?
Pablo Escobar or Pablo.
Did you say this are Pamela Escobar?
No, Pablo, I think it is, isn't it?
Pablo what?
Escobar, is it?
That's close enough. We'll give it to you. Okay, so you've got a point to start you off, John, okay?
Right.
Who do you want to play with, Adrian or Jeremy?
Yourself.
Okay, myself, right, okay. Are you ready? We're trying to beat a score of 5, please, okay?
Okay, I think we can do it.
We have a minute to do it, and your 1 minute starts now. Here we go.
There's your first one now, Jim.
Okay, this is something you say to a horse. Come on, diddle-doo. Giddy up. That's exactly what you say to the horse. You're on 2. Do, gently down the stream. Merrily. What's the first line?
Merrily.
Yeah, no, the first line. What do you do in a boat?
Row your boat.
Yes, that's the right answer. Here's your next one. This is something that, say an old man is going out with a young girl and they say there's no difference between them because something is just a something.
Age is only a number.
Age is only a number is the correct answer. That's brilliant. Here's your next one. Oh, what does that mean?
Thanks be to God in Irish.
Oh, thanks be to God, Osquelga.
Where are you going to
You're saying it.
Yeah, and he says like, where does it here?
Where does it live? Irish.
Where does it here?
Call us too tall, no?
No.
Call us too tall.
And don't say I'm Will Codagum double giddy and Laris or.
Say that again?
No.
Buicas
la dia.
No.
No.
Can't get it.
No. But you can't. I'm just giving it to you, and you still can't get it. John, I had high hopes for you.
No, you didn't. You were giving me the eye when you came on.
Thanks, John.
No.
There's a bit of a delay here. John, see you.
There?
Yeah. Okay, good to talk to you, John.
Right.
What is going on
There's
today?
no idea what's
Is there a full moon today as well?
There was a full moon last night, actually. Buenos Dias is the answer. It's the Irish for thanks be to God. Where does that leave us?
That leaves us with Richie and Gareth both on 5.
Can we give them both a prize?
Yeah, we give them both a prize. Okay. There we go. Sort that out.
For Des Kelly Interiors, yeah?
Yep, there you go. Thanks very much indeed. Richie and Gareth are the winners of our quiz for this week, and that's it from us for this week. We're back with you again Monday morning at 10 a.m. And if you want to get in contact with us for anything to do with the programme, send a message through our Facebook page at facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. You can send us an email to dublintalks@98fm.com. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday morning at 10. Barry Dunn is on the way, and in the next hour he's got some brilliant music lined up like these.
FM's Dublin Talks with Des Kelly Interiors. New store now open at Belgard Road, Tala. 98 FM.